Today's workout is called Superset Supergirl because we're doing each of the two workouts in a superset. And it's very strength focused. This is a pure strength workout today with a little bit of power mixed in as well. So every 2.5 minutes on the minute, you're going to do the movement or start the superset. So the first superset is a back squat with either a clean and jerk or step up jumps. And the second superset is a barbell row with push-up to failure. So for the first workout, every 2.5 minutes on the minute for 5 rounds, you'll do 8 back squats and then 5 to 8 clean and jerks or step-up jumps. For the back squat, you'll use the rack in a barbell, have it set to a height, this is a little low for me, right at your chest, like just below your collarbone, so that you can get under and hold the barbell on your back. Go to the side for example purposes. Feet about hips to shoulder width apart, toes pointed as straight forward as you can. You're going to keep your chest high, back contracted, core contracted, and your legs are already looking alive as you squat down. So send your butt back, chest up, and bring yourself back up. In terms of breathing, you inhale all the way down, exhale all the way up. We're going to want to make sure that as you're squatting, your knees aren't caving in. They need to be out and tracking over your toes. If you're starting to cave in or the form is compromised in some way, you go down and wait until your performance is perfect, because your knees caving in can cause a lot of other injuries and things. Remember to keep your chest up and that core should be super engaged. You're strong like a pillar as you squat down and come back up. This should be a heavy weight. So by the end of the 8 reps, you should be glad the 8 reps are over. That last rep should be a little sticky, maybe even like you're having to go a little slower, literally try to come out of the bottom on the 8th rep. And then as the second you finish your 8 reps, you'll move on to the jumping step-ups or the clean and jerk. I'll do the jumping step-ups right here. So for the jumping step-ups, you'll have a secure flat surface, whether it's a box, a low bench. You can stack plates, so the big rubberized plates, you can stack them to a height that feels good. A sturdy cooler, a low chair. I don't know, like other things that exist that you could possibly use. Anything that's like a sturdy surface. If it's not this high, that's okay too, especially to start. You'll start with one foot up on the box, the other foot is on the ground, and you're gonna push through this foot to launch up into the air and switch your feet in the air. Those are the jumping step-ups. So you're gonna wanna try and land lightly as well on your feet. If you land too heavy, it's probably gonna hurt your knee, maybe cause some leaking, some other things. So try your best to land lightly and to catch your weight gracefully. Your landing should be light. If it's loud, it's too hard. The other option is a clean and jerk. If you're well versed in weightlifting, you can do it with a barbell and a weight that feels good for 5 to 8 reps. So, for the box jumps, 5 to 8 reps per leg. So 8 to 10 reps total for the box jump. For the clean and jerk, 5 to 8 reps. At a weight that feels challenging, but not so taxing that your form is off. And I want you to do them unbroken. So it doesn't need to be so heavy that you have to drop the weight. Then rest for a second, you need to be able to get through all 5 to 8 in one quick movement, so then you can rest. Your heart rate should be pretty high. Like do the superset, and then your heart rate is like beating, and you're having to like consciously rest so that you can go again. If you're like, well, that wasn't so bad, I'm just like gonna sit here for a minute, then you need to go harder or heavier. For a dumbbell clean and jerk, dumbbells on either side, feet about hips width apart, tapping them on the ground as you squat down, stand up, pushing your hips forward as you use your momentum to get them to your shoulders, and then launch them up. And the launch up can be more of a push press, or it can be more of a jerk, whichever you feel more comfortable with, and what the weight allows. So again, in full-time speed, tap down, up, 4. So that's what that looks like. Okay, so again, you'll do 5 rounds of that. And then you'll move into the second workout, which is 5 rounds of 8 barbell rows and then push-ups to failure. So for the barbell row, use the barbell, literally. Feet about hips width apart, slight bend in the knees, core contracted to protect your lower back. So from your tip of your head to your tailbone, super straight like a board. You send your hips back, and you're in this bent over position. Arms, shoulder width are a little bit wider apart, and you pull it up towards your chest. If you've got breasts, go below the breasts so you can get them all the way to your belly and not to your nipples. Exhale as you draw up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. You're really contracting through that back to get the bar up. Stand it up. The barbell is on the ground. You're going to want to deadlift it up first. Set yourself, shoulders down and back, bend in the knees, send your hips back, and then do your row. So, deadlift all the way up first, and then reset. Again, they should also be heavy, so by the end of the 8 reps, it should be pretty hard. And then you'll go straight into push-ups to failure. So, by nature of getting to failure, you're probably going to decrease how many you're able to do with each round. You can do push-ups on your toes if that's what you're capable of. If not, then do them on your knees. These should be perfect form push-ups to failure. So on the knees, core is contracted, glutes are contracted. You're in that perfect plank position. Your elbows go out 45 degrees as your chest comes to the ground. And you want to either tap your chest on the ground or at least get your elbow to 90 degrees. Shoulders under, or hands under your shoulders. Up, perfect plank position, elbows to 45, you lower down, and come back up. And do it perfectly until you get to the point where your form is not perfect anymore, and that is considered failure. So if you feel like you're going to have to start compromising before we keep going, then stop, and that's the end. And so you'll do that with each of the 5 rounds, probably reducing your rep count each time. Yes, and then the last little bonus is a 2-minute core burner. So there's a video of that on YouTube. It takes 2 minutes. Follow it, and like that's the name of the video. So just kind of search for that or scroll through my channel and you'll find it. I think that's it. It's going to be hard. You're probably going to be sore afterwards. Make sure you roll out, stretch, like particularly your glutes and your hamstrings, your calves, your quads. And then stretch out your upper body. It's going to be hard to roll out your upper body. So roll out your back and then stretch out your arms. Particularly from the push-ups to failure, you're going to be pretty sore. In terms of a warm-up, you'll do quick 200 meters or a minute and a half of cardio. And then there's more details in the spreadsheet too, but a core warm-up, so you'll do the step outs, which is the resistance band around the bar. Step out, exhaling. You're resisting. Your body's going to want to twist in towards it, so you're resisting that and staying straight up like a column. Step back in. And step out. Exhale as you step out. Inhale as you step in. Exhale as you step out. Inhale as you step in. And then just follow what's on the spreadsheet. Let me know if you have questions. Enjoy.